as good a start from young Jacob. In fact, he's going to book back there. That's going to be, fourth place. And in fact, that is ugly indeed, to say the least. So he's gone from first place to fourth. He's got some work to do out there. So look for young Jacob as he fights his way back. He's got somebody like young Richard Newbury with him. I still call him young Richard Newbury because he was young when I first commentated him well over 25 years ago. But I tell you what, there he goes, a chance to get on the move, a chance to see the breakout in front as well. And I'll tell you what, the Superlite class are looking pretty swish indeed. And Matt Hugenbosom mixing it up there with the best sim. So nice to watch. Johnny Lewis, of course, was one of those who was up there as well. So that was great to see. And also in there is Gav Veltmeyer. So keen to watch. But will it be Matt Hugenbosom? And I'll tell you what, Jacob is going to have to absolutely work for this one. So look out for Matt Hugenbosom. I'd say Matt's just getting better and better, stronger and stronger as each race is out there. I think this is a real opportunity to see him rise to the top as we're looking out for that Jacob Stroud bike. Is that third place? Third place, I think it could be for young Jacob. Could be third place. We'll get a better update when they come past us, as always. But it's out in front there as we go for the glory. And at the run through the, they call it the bus stop. In fact, you wouldn't say it was a bus stop. The bus hasn't even hardly slowed down through there. Gav Veltmeyer, the one in front. Then go back to Johnny. Oh, change maybe. Yes, indeed. Jacob falls back to fourth again. So just where he was a lap ago, done all that good work to get up one placing, and all of a sudden he's got to go back again as we watched him for Matt Hugenbosom, who had done all the good work. So there's Matt on the lighter coloured bike. So we'd seen him as high as second place. He's gone back to third. In fact, he'd gone back to fourth. Now he's got back to third again. But as all this goes on, Gavin Veltmeyer on that very solid and well advanced Pro Twin bike, the Suzuki SV650. So he's got the twin. The others behind him are the triple. Well, they did start their life as a 4, of course, but then have become a triple with the 600 down to a 450. So it is Gav Veltmeyer, Johnny Lewis, Jacob Stroud and Matt Hugenbosom in there. And it is the Gavin Veltmeyer advantage at the moment. Gavin was just so wrapped last time to get a podium. He says, they're the younger guys, let them go racing. He just loves it for its reliability, and he's a mechanic, of course, prides himself. GVR, Gavin Veltmeyer Racing. We've seen Gavin come to light over the Suzuki series in the last few years. In fact, I would suggest, having come out of Pro Twins and into this Superlite class, he has actually been one of the showmen of this class, for my money, with his consistent riding. And look at this for a ride, out in front at the moment, and the strongest performance. Look at that for a lead. Pick up that green helmet out there. There he goes. GVR, Gav Veltmeyer Racing, Johnny Lewis, Matt Hugenbosom, Matt around the outside. Oh, Matt tried to get through there, did he? No, didn't get it. Still Johnny Lewis. Always on form, the Nelsonian, and a great ride there at the moment. So looking out for Johnny Lewis. Good work. Oh, he goes wide out of Castro, goes wide. That might be a Matt Hugenbosom advantage. Look for the slipstream from Matt Hugenbosom, but Johnny still stays with him. And then young Jacob Stroud. So Jacob, fourth place. Then he got up to third. Now he finds himself back. Here he goes with the slipstream. Could he get two of them at once? And on the inside, Jacob's got the two. Oh, he's got the two of them and made it stick as well. That is incredible. Spider Staples. I'm thinking if we're going to get a run through from Matt Hugenbosom to get the advantage over Johnny Lewis. Where did Jacob Stroud come from? Oh, definitely. But Johnny Lewis, I think, got through there as well. Johnny Lewis got through there. So there were 3 wide going into the John Jones Steel corner. The tighter you are, the less of corner speed you're going to carry. But absolutely, mate, the racing is just getting better later on in the day. It's just, we haven't got many races left, but absolutely outstanding for Jacob Stroud on the number 11 machine. Remember last year we had Jake Lewis, and we had Avalon Biddle partners actually, and out there on these similar sort of bikes. In fact, the same bike Avalon was on, and we saw them having a ding-dong here, and they set lap record after lap record between the two over the weekend, and lap record time's not being touched at the moment. We're running around in the 109s. The lap record for the Superlite class is a 107.346, so but it doesn't matter, still sensational rating out there. And I think Stroud's got a reel in Gavin Veltmeyer, one of the prettiest machines in the paddock. It's a beautifully built frame, and up on the inside for Jacob Stroud. How good was that, Neil? Oh, absolutely beautiful. Through John Jones Steel, and he's done it with perfection. So look at that, I'll tell you what. So in the space of 1 lap and 100 metres, he's gone up 3 places, gone from 4th to 1st. That is perfect. Absolutely brilliant. First of all, he went past Johnny Lewis, then Matt Hugenbosom, and now Gavin Veltmeyer. So he's got them all in a great run through. Can he now force that advantage? And I'll tell you what, he's right there over Matt. So it's Matt Hugenbosom now up there to that 2nd place. This is better, remembering Matt Hugenbosom won that first race for us 2 weeks ago on day 1 at Ruapuna at the GP round back at Ruapuna 2 weeks ago. This is just fantastic to watch, and here we go. So young Jacob Stroud, then we go to Matt Hugenbosom, looking back to Gav Veltmeyer. A lap ago, of course, he was in the lead. lead and then go to Johnny Lewis. So I'd love to look afterwards and look at the lead sheets. I don't think we've had the same position by these riders over any of the same laps. There's been somebody who's changed amongst them, and that is now, what have we had? Three different leaders. Yes, three different race leaders during the race. So good to see, and look out for Matt. Here comes Matt Hugenbusen, doing better all the time. He's on the 450. This is, of course, the SuperliteR Racing 600 taken down to the 450. So he's looking right on the tail of Jacob. Jacob's got the bigger run. Look for this man to fire when we go to Hampton Downs, Spider, because even though it might be a different circuit, he's going to do a lot of healing in the next 6 weeks and be right on top of his game, I believe, to really push Jacob Stroud for the final round.
Oh, definitely. I'll tell you who's also a pleasure to be at the track is Richard Newberry, sitting there in 5th place. Didn't do Christchurch or Invercargill, decided to get the old girl out there and the Colin Klein Kawasaki machine and get that out there, and he's sitting there in 5th place on the bright green Kawasaki, the number 13 plate. Here comes the leaders into the bus stop. A bike length between them, maybe 2 bike lengths at the most. Jacob Stroud on the 450cc Yamaha and Matt Hugenbusen on the 450cc Honda. It's unusual his riding style, Matthew Hugenbusen. No one else really tries to pass on the outside going off turn 1. He's giving you a go just about every lap. Most of the people sit upright and drag the brakes a bit later off on the inside, but Matthew Hugenbusen is no slug round here. He's been plenty of miles round here on buckets, 1, 2, 5, Formula 3 and all sorts of classes. So certainly if he wants to try that line, eventually I think it might pay off. In fact, he closes down Jacob Stroud down that back straight, but round that corner, Jacob just seems to have the massive corner speed coming out. Is it the Yamaha versus Honda difference, or is it just that Jacob's got that corner mastered? He's done plenty of racing over his years, despite his young age. He'd also been to many, many races and joined us in the commentary box for many years and watched his father and everyone else race, so he's just got the racecraft just down to a T, really, just down to a T. Absolutely great to see Greg Percival as well provide a motorcycle for young Jacob Stroud to race. And 4 Strouds racing at Ruapuna. We had Caleb, we had Jesse, we had Jacob and the old man Andrew. Unfortunately, Caleb had broke a skateboard there at Invercargill last weekend, so it's just down to the 3 Strouds. He's alright, he's just getting on with it. And right now across the start-finish strike, 141 thousandths of a second now. We've seen the 2 lead bikes into the 108, so 108.976 for Jacob Stroud, 108.987 for Matthew Hugenbusen. Nothing in it on the track. 3 bike lengths, 5 bike lengths. That bike of Jacobs is a little bit quicker coming out of that corner. Then Matthew seems to reel him in and get up behind the slipstream, but he knows that he can't beat him into this corner, but it doesn't stop him trying. He closes up under brakes, but then Jacob just rides quick around the corner.
Great to watch indeed, courtesy of Mr. Boat, your one-stop boat shop right here in Timaru. We're so close to the ocean and also very close to the Southern Lakes. It's certainly boating paradise around here. A lot of people have a motorbike and a boat, and we don't blame them for that at all. So you can go boating in all shapes and forms, whether it be a casual or fishing, water sports, and you name it. Boating's the way to go. Mr. Boats, and a great way to be. Mr. Boats at mrboats.co.nz. Open Monday to Friday and Saturdays till 1. Of course, Belinda and Jason, the 2 great people to see down there for all your boating requirements, Mr. Boats. Hey, shout out there as well to James Knowles. And looking at James, when I looked at that ride last time, I think it's something like 9 seconds back from the lead to him. Now, we know how good our top riders have been. There's about 5 of them. He's actually made number 6 this time, I think, in our update. Yes, he is the 6th place rider, and he's much closer to the pace as the white flag goes out there, and that's James just going past now. It's actually gone out to 15. He really has slowed up. That's 6 seconds gone in the last lap. I'd suggest he's got a problem out there. He'd run very close with him. We have a look at the top into John Jones Steele for this final time, and look at that on the at one point there they were side to side and just pulling out of the corner. It looks to be Jacob Stroud, but if ever there was going to be a chance, it was Matt Hugenbusen on that occasion. So fantastic to watch. We go to Hampton Downs in 6 weeks time. I'd give Jacob Stroud a slight advantage from a track knowledge point of view, but for Matt Hugenbusen, I think he's the stronger of the 2 of them, and he'll be a little further healed and be feeling a little better, and I would suggest that might bring them back to a very even pass. So an exciting super finale for these guys out here at the moment. So here we are with the Jacob Stroud show, looking so good, and Matt Hugenbusen fighting his way back. It really is the 2 of them. Look at the great battle going on behind him, because Gavin Veltmeyer holding his own amongst the fight back from Johnny Lewis, and here we go down towards the line. Jacob in the checker bag. Jacob Stroud to do it. Jacob Stroud home for the victory in the Mr. Boats Superlight final, ahead of the fast and flying Matt Hugenbusen. Then with Gavin Veltmeyer ahead of 13 to go through. Johnny was one back. So there we have it. In fact, it was a great ride then by Richard Newberry. That was fantastic. fantastic to fight his way up there. He's only in Superlite B here as well today, so that'll mean that it's not going to worry Johnny's points. And there's James Knowles, 24 seconds then, so he'd lost a huge amount on the latter part of the race, but I tell you what, for the first 3 quarters of the race, he was at worst only about 7 seconds